What it do? What it is? What's up? How's it happening? What's popping in? Slacking, lacking, chacking, knacking, smacking, smacking.
Get out! Out!
Where's she at?
She's all in the
Grandmaster for Rich Rising on this beautiful day, guys. We are back at it again with another one.
Out. You can't be here. You can't be here.
You can't be here.
Oh.
I don't know where you're gonna be at, but you can't be here.
Get out! It's dangerous in there. There's a lot of appliances. Get out! Bro, get out. Get your butt out now.
You got her?
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's all in there, up in there in a Wi-Fi. I don't know what you're doing in there.
No, we don't need her to get electrocuted. That's not it. That's not it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at her right behind you.
Don't follow me. Don't follow me. You following little thing.
Look like she got dirt on the side of her.
Yeah, because she was in there. Put you in here.
Oh, baby, what the skibbity paps? What's going on in this household, yo?
You focus.
All right. What's today's mathematics? Today was about
Oh my God, you are such a bad
what's
life.
today's mathematics on discipline? Yeah. Okay. Come here. I know y'all ain't seen the puppy, right? Yeah, that's Nezuko right there. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. Yeah. She's a bald. Deer-headed Chihuahua. That's how small she is. She's one hand size. She was smaller than this. She's getting bigger now. She's becoming a big girl. She's becoming a big girl. You cold? And I think she want to eat. She's on the bottle right now. She about to be sliding off the bottle very soon, though. That's Nezuko, y'all. For everybody who wants to know. Say hi. She's like, and I'm ready to get up out of here. All right, yo. Today's conversation and today's mathematics is on being disciplined in your calling, man. Being disciplined in your calling, even when people around you and surrounding you are not on your wave frequency. They're not on your the way of thinking. They're not on your level, and it's really a hard conversation to have a lot of time because it creates conflict when you're trying to explain what's going on or explain a certain point of view of looking at things, right? And it's about staying disciplined on not always trying to be explanative about what you're experiencing, right? Understanding that not everybody gonna get it. Not everybody's gonna get it, and it's okay if they don't get it. It's not your job to be there to always try to get them to get it. It's really about you doing the work. It's really about you getting it down so that way it's in your DNA, right? It's in your actions, it's in your integrity, it's in the way you move, right? And people are gonna initially ask about, yo, how you're doing what you're doing, you know, or they're gonna be influenced in a certain way. I was explaining to a bro of mine's yesterday, and I is in a couple of situations, and long story short, and it was a conversation. Sorry, she keep getting into this thing. It was a conversation about, you know, how we influence without understanding how we influence, right? You don't have to influence by trying to share something with somebody all the time to tell them how it's done and how you've seen it, A lot of times you influence unconsciously. Like I was giving him a scenario, like, for instance, my daughter, right? If I was a smoker and she always seen me smoke, I don't necessarily have to influence her by giving her and say, you want to smoke, right? That's not necessarily it. All she has to do is really see me doing it often, right? And that will influence her in some form of fashion of thinking like, oh, well, he's doing it. Maybe it's all right for me to do it, right? And you want to be conscious that you are always influencing unconsciously as well. So when you are working on yourself and you're developing yourself, just follow the laws and the principles of how you're supposed to be moving and the way that you're supposed to be moving, because this is what makes a person wise, because of the information of knowledge and principles that they have learned. So they're able to move it and act it in their whole day-to-day life, right? So in understanding that, you're going to automatically influence because people are seeing the way you are changing and moving, right? And they're going to automatically see differences, right? I was giving him another example. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Say, for instance, you hit $1 million, right? You got $1 million. People are going to gradually see you. You may not even be out in the open. And say, I got $1 million, right? And you might just start moving a little bit differently because the subconscious mind has programmed, I have more than enough now, right? And so you're going to move differently. Maybe people are going to start noticing you got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And they're going to be like, how'd you get that? Where'd you get that, right? And it's like the ideal of influence necessarily doesn't always have to be a verbal thing. People just see you changing dramatically. They see certain things and they start to question, like his demeanor, he's upright in his confidence. Something's different, right? And this is my whole moral gist of it, staying disciplined even when your loved ones are not even there with you. Even if they're not understanding, even if they're not getting the gist of what's happening, or like per se. Let me read some of these comments real quick. It says, like the beam. That's what. Ow. Hey, ow. Oh. It says, what's her name? That's Nezuko. OMG, she's so cute. Hi. Hello. Send back the you throw.
Like your mess.
Huh?
I like you, kinda cool.
They could. How are you? I'm doing fantastic. Utterly fantastic. Thank you for asking. Hey, Big Daddy. What the heck?
Oh
Do you
God,
want to
stop.
see? Oh no. Are you getting? Nope. Not doing that. And this is Grand Rising. How are you doing? First time watching. Nice looking guy. Love your locks. Good outfit and nice, great advice, wisdom. Have a great day. Blessings, gratitude and appreciation. No million with locks can teach us. Okay, and that was good. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, man. So long story short, more the story is you're gonna have challenging times, man. You're gonna have challenging times when you're being enlightened on new ways of thinking, and it's either people going to see you who you used to be compared to who you're becoming, right? And it's not about who they used to see you as.
That's a great subject, right, boy?
Really?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't want to chime in so bad. I'm over here. I'm like, oh my God. What you talking about?
Yeah. So with that being said, people are gonna, if they seen you and met you at a certain level in your life, they're going to expect you to be that type of person always, especially if they're not making change in their life. So when you start to become different and you start to be enlightened on there's newer ways of thinking,
some of them are going to
Some of them are going to
want to be close to you.
Some of them are going to wait.
Seeking change.
Right. You're gonna have a flip side to both perspectives. You're gonna have people who see you changing for the good, and because they're on the journey of change, and then you're gonna have people who are not changing and they're wanting to be the same. That's just who I am. That's just what I do. And it's like, no, man, that's what you keep choosing to do. A belief is only a thought that you keep thinking.
And also, you have to be careful because there are some who are going to say they want to change, but they just want your energy.
That's another one. You have to be, this is why I say you got to be very tuned in and tapped in and turned on about staying disciplined on what journey you on. Because you will have people who say they want change and they not really wanting change. They just want to be around you because they feel like they may be influenced in a way to make change, but they're not really making action towards change. So their ideology of them being around you will change them is not as sufficient because there's no action on their end, right? And so even when you have people who, you know, have kickback on, you know, well, why you telling me about your belief systems and da 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 da, and they could be your loved ones, they could be your wife, they could be your lady, they could be your friends and stuff like that. And it's not always about pleasing the outside realm. You don't need, it says that there's a scripture that says, be not of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And listen, I respect that quote so much because, you know, some people have some belief systems that are just like, you know, they're not serving them anymore. You know that that's not the way of thinking anymore. Like, you choosing the same route is not it, right? It's not the way to be anymore, right? And by them having kickback on how you are changing, lets you know that you're right on the right path, right? It lets you know that you're doing something right. She right here, babe. Lets you know that you're doing something right. And it's not about you verbally trying to get them to understand your position. It's about you maintaining confidentiality. When you're when you're in the midst of learning and you're in the midst of the student mode and you're in the midst of the grasshopper state of mind, there's no reason why you should be trying to explain anything to anybody when you're still getting the information. Even if you be like, yo, this information right here is fire. I need to share it with somebody. Confidentiality. Because you haven't embodied it yet. You need to embody it first. You need to be it. You need to do it. And you need to have it before you even start wanting to share anything with anybody, because their point of perspective may alter your destination due to their point and due to you and how you feel about them and what they say, right? You have to, if the plane, you know, no pun intended, but if the plane is going down, you have to put on your face mask first. You cannot go lean to the side with the face mask in your hand trying to help somebody else put on their face mask before you put on your face mask. You can't do that. You can't. I mean, you can, but there's reap the consequences, right? Overall, confidentiality is where you need to be. Confidentiality lets you maintain the direction that you are on, right? Maintain it to where you are now receiving and receiving and receiving. And people are like, yo, such and such you seem different a little bit, right? And it's like, even if they notice certain things, this is not the time to speak yet until you know intuitively that this is the time to share. This is a sign that's telling me, oh, I should share now. Like, I got an unmovable conscience right now that's telling me to share now. I have a grasp on this information. I have the grasp on the principles. I have the grasp on the laws. Now I can share. Because if you're not fully developed in whatever you're doing, whether if it's your idea, your thoughts, your vision, you're not fully developed and you go spouting it off and sharing it because you're excited about sharing it with people, guess what?
You're in trouble.
You're in trouble, man. You in trouble because you're going to get some people who like, nah, that's stupid. I had a similar idea to that and that just didn't work out for me. I didn't ask you your point of perspective. I was just telling you about how excited I was, but that's my fault because I should have had confidentiality. I should not have been so gullible to share it with people because I think that they're going to feel the way I feel about this concept or about this vision or about this idea. It's not for you to share. If you listen and you practice and you study the people before our time and the people like, I'm watching a dog, y'all. The people like,
just like a friend of mine, I told her what I was
my
planning
wife
to do a long time ago. I'm sorry, but I told her what I was gonna do
A long time ago.
and then she said that, what do you know about that?
Yeah.
Like, how do you think you can do that? You can't even do this. Like,
And then
can't
people will
achieve
point out your
that.
flaws. Like my wife was just saying, she said she told her friend an idea a long time ago, and she was like, her friend response was, "What do you know about that? You can't even do this." Right? And then not that's this is not saying that everybody is like this, but it is also telling you that you don't know until you share.
Yeah.
And why find out then when you can just hold on to whatever you are manifesting enough to where your confidence and your vision about it is much more clear, and where it has enough momentum to where whoever has something to say about it, they can't even stop the momentum of the boulder coming down the hill because it's too powerful. It's too in the way. Yo, I got comments in the building. Yo, yo, yo. Real eyes and even. Yo, my man's always I don't know. Are you a he or she? I just gotta make sure because I don't want to be like he. And this she says I like that analogy. So you are saying put on all your armor. Exactly. Suit up. Cause look, oh man, look, I like the way you're using that because every superhero do that. Yeah. Suit up correctly before doing anything will be quite night. Exactly. It says then make the moves. Exactly. Like if you notice, like every time they show Batman and it was a mission, bro, Batman be like, they show you clips, he'd be like, kid, like he's putting on everything because he's gonna go through some trials and tribulations when he go out there, right? Yeah. And even still then he had already developed the character, developed the house, developed the hideout spot, developed the mindset, developed the mission. He developed the whole concept before he even went out to start. He developed it so when he went out and he was beaten by the world, he had enough grounding and foundation to stay adamant and consistent about what his agenda was. It says it's both on the account, he and she. Bet. I go with that. I like that. He says both on the account, he and she.
Wow, okay.
Ush Pep. Peep, Tom, you were saying like the Batman, absolutely. And listen, man, when my friend was telling me about the scenario and he was giving me his point of perspective about what was happening, and you know, this person who seen him at one point, and when they didn't know each other and when they got together a while back, you know, they knew him as one person. So when he started like making change and seeking for more, you know, and he was excited to share what he was on, and he like, yo, well, we in the same household. I want you to peep what I'm getting. I want you to get what I'm getting. I want you. What's going on?
I think I pulled this thing off.
Oh, her nails. Oh, yeah. My baby, my puppy. Anyways, yeah, man. So yeah, he was excited to get her in, or get this person in on what his new discovery was, right? He like, yo, this has got to be the way. This the way. And they were so drawn on because of their belief systems about what used to be and what they felt like was right to them. And I was telling them like, man, you cannot share all the time, brother. Like, even if it is your loved one, you got to embody it first. You got to be a representation. You got to let God do the work for you. You got to let people be enlightened through certain things of you staying consistent on what you are desiring, what you are seeking. And they'll just be influenced by default. And if they're not willing to roll down that path as you are becoming and getting more developed in who you are and who you're becoming, then guess what? God got magical ways of moving people slowly but surely out of your way because their frequency can't keep up. Literally, their frequency can't arise to the higher level because they're stuck here. And they're not taking the necessary doors and turns and ups and stairs to continue on the path where you're going, right? And I get it, right? I get it that a lot of us get attached to people that are around us, but you can't get attached, man, because nobody is here for a long time. You got to really train yourself to not get too attached. Even with me having a wife, I got to train myself to not get attached to a lot of things about her, right? Now, enjoy it and appreciate is one thing, but to get attached is another thing, which meaning that I'm showing more attachment is like giving more praise to something beyond myself, right? Beyond what my comprehension is. Like attach is like if it gets taken away from me, I already claimed it as mine, right? And it's like nothing is yours. None of it belongs to you. Why don't you get that? Yes, I can say this cup is mine, but it really is not. Because if I drop it, it's going to disintegrate or it's going to break into pieces. And then what? Is it really mine? Is it still? No. The concept fades away. It's not mine anymore because it's broken. It's useless, right? So I could say this tablet is mine, but I could say the same thing. It belongs to these people, really. It's got a serial number and all that. I bought it and I have possession over it, but it's not mine, right? And this is a whole different concept for a lot of people because, man, you really got to learn how to not attach yourself to things for the sake of. For the sake of. For the sake of your insanity. My puppy is going ham over there. She ready. For the sake of your insanity, for the sake of your heart. Right? A lot of people attach themselves to things, and then when it get taken away, their heart is hurt. And it's like, you did that to yourself. Nobody told you to attach your emotions to a thing. That's not it. That's not it, yo. Stay disciplined on seeing the bigger picture. There's a bigger picture than what meets the eyes, what's here, right? Because that's why they put billboards around in advertisements. Because if you're here all the time and you're not looking beyond here, then you only focused on here. You're not seeing the bigger picture, right? It's a game. It's a game, and you gotta see beyond. Look, I like what David was talking about, right? And I'm not a religious person, but I do appreciate these stories and that also perspectives, because these stories and perspectives and the laws and things stand the test of times. They stand it. She's over there, right there on the side. Stand the test of times, decade through decade through decade. And I gotta understand, like, yo, that's wisdom, bro. Like, no matter what you say, like, it's standing the test of times, yo. That's character. Like, you can't tell me like what happened long BC, 80, like that, all that stuff is still like, I gotta be like, okay, it's a story, but I'm gonna get value out of the story just the same way as I read these self-development books. It's the same principles, the same. Matter of fact, when you talk about, if anybody know about the book Think and Grow Rich, which is one of the greatest, like everybody knows about Think and Grow Rich, right? I share with my homeboy one of Napoleon Hill's other books, which is The Interview with the Devil. The Interview with the Devil is so witty. Oh my goodness. Like that, if y'all don't know about that, go look at the audiobook of The Interview with the Devil on YouTube. That, if you listen to that whole thing, it will put you in perspective of maybe I need to be more aware. Maybe I need to not be swindled and captivated so easily, right? And so with bringing this up, Think and Grow Rich, everything is from the Bible. My man's literally read the Bible, right? And then he wrote his own book and then put it in perspective, because a lot of the stuff he's talking about are all attributes and principles from the Bible. Like a lot of these self-development books of, you got Earl Nightingale, you got Bob Proctor, you got all of these individuals. If you don't know who these people are, bro, they've been around. I mean, like, they billionaires, man. They not alive no more, but they have already made their legacy. They're in the household of the same individuals that we talk about, or like, oh, the elites and all this, blah, 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 right? Like, these are the people they listen to. These are the people that have a high level of respect and a level within themselves of integrity in the way that they move, in the way that they become scholars on how to look at life and move through life to have power and dominion over everything they do. And partially, a lot of that is discipline. right? And I'm not just talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself as well, right? I'm sharing what I'm sharing because I noticed that people like, oh, I don't have discipline over here, or I don't have discipline at all. And it's like, no.
Be okay with it.
And right, and be okay with it. And it's like, no, man, you have discipline. You have discipline to go to the store every day to grab them bag of chips. Right? And if you're a person who like hygiene, you have discipline to wash your body every single day. Or brush your teeth. That's discipline. It's just less effort, and it also is an ideal of routine. You've done it so many times that it is just a part of your routine. And when you are disciplining yourself to acquire a new habit, you have to stay consistent about it. You have to keep going. And it is not about discouragement when you are particularly miss a day, right? You miss a day, you're like, oh man, I missed that day. I messed up everything. And it's like, no, bro, it's the discipline is not you missing a day. Discipline is you picking up where you left off. So if you miss one day, go back tomorrow or later that day and pick it up. Do it, right? You're firing and wiring new neurons in your brains on a way of moving, on a way of thinking. It's a consistent effort. Yo, I didn't get it in early this AM. All right, I'm going to do it later on. What time I get in? All right, I get in around this time. Man, there was no excuses. Man, the kids gonna come. They gonna open the door. They gonna be want to talk. But I gotta be focused. So how do I get from the door as soon as I get in? Since I didn't get my workout in earlier, how do I get from the door to the workout? All right, I'm gonna have a video on my phone already playing. So when I work out, all I gotta do is grab my mat, put it on the floor, then cast my image on my phone to the TV, and then tell everybody I'm gonna work out for a couple minutes, and maybe even do it for like 20 minutes. It's 8:30. Maybe do it for like 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. But the fact is that I am making effort to get it done. Normally in the daytime, I'll work out for 30 minutes. That ain't the case tonight. I don't want to work out for 30 minutes, right? And you got to be able to sit here and be like, really having this conference with self, this conference of, I'm not going to have this meeting for 30 minutes, but I'm going to have this meeting for at least 20 minutes. All right, 15 minutes. What can we do? 15 minutes is good. We can get in for 15 minutes, right? And you just get it done, right? You compromised a little bit, but the fact is you still got the workout done in that day, right? And then when you do it, you're going to be like, oh, man, that was nothing, man. I could have went for 20 minutes. I could have went for 30 minutes because it's momentum. Once you start getting the heart rate up and you in it, boom, 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 it is what it is. At that point, it's like, yo, we in it now. You know, that's why they say a lot of the times when you go to the gym, just go to the gym. By the time you warm up, you already in it, huh? Yeah, that's you. Yeah, man. And so I'm bringing this about in different concepts and different perspectives because you are going to get challenged when you are in the midst of change. It's a part of it. Huh? Oh. You're going to get challenged, and it's okay.
You want to eat?
Challenge is supposed to come.
You want to eat?
Be compliant with challenge, right? Be submissive to challenge. There's nothing wrong with challenge. You need to be challenged in order to realize that you are greater than what you thought you were. A lot of the times it takes for you to do that. I remember times when we would go on the stage, and I'm a professional hip hop dancer, right? So I remember times when we would go on stage and we would perform in front of 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000 people, right? And I remember the first time being in front of that large crowd, and I remember even when it was smaller crowds. And I remember the feeling of, this is scary. What if I mess up, right? I don't really want to do this anymore, right? And it was a very faint voice, but I was already knee deep in. And it was like, I'm not about to turn around and say I can't do this. Like, I have no choice to go forward now, right? Like, I have no choice. When you fall in the ocean, you have no choice to get out the ocean, especially if you fell off a boat and the boat is going. Like, you in there. So you just got to be copacetic that you in there right now until the next solution comes to about, right? And so, you go on stage, and I started associating scared with excitement. I'm excited for change. I'm not scared of change. I'm excited, right? That's what this feeling is about. It's not scared. I'm excited. My heart rate is getting up, right? And now I'm just like, because even when you start dancing, your heart rate, you got to stay focused too, right? So today's conversation, moral story, is about staying disciplined and on your mission. Staying disciplined on who you are, staying disciplined on who you're becoming, and not letting the outside realm deter you from what is bringing you to awareness, what is bringing you to a present moment, right? You becoming present as you are developing. You becoming present even when you sit here and listen to what I'm talking about. Because not everybody is thinking like what we think like. Not everybody is operating how we operate. Not everybody is wanting to change how we're changing. And that's okay, right? It's not our job to make them change. Our job is only to get so engulfed in the destiny that God has for us so that he can use us in a way that influences people effortlessly. Effortlessly. Influence people. I'm so engulfed in change that I'm influencing these people effortlessly. I'm not even trying. You got a call, honey. Right? I'm not even trying. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Right? You don't want to be trying to sit here and trying to change your family member's mindset. You don't want to be here trying to change your family members' mindsets because it's a tooth pulling experience. It's like, yo, I think like this, and then they're trying to combat you on the way that they're thinking and their beliefs, and it's like, are we coming to a conclusion here that we think in the same way, or are you just trying to tell me your way is better than my way, right? Like, I know I ain't the only one who going through that, right? Like, I ain't saying that's most recent. I'm just saying, like, in general, with dealing with family and people close and friends, that's kind of what it is. Especially if you're the one in the relationship who's like, I am seeking. Like, I know there's more than what we are being delivered now. I know there's more than what society is saying is it. It ain't about the white picket fence with the house no more. It ain't about the college degree and all these things no more, man. It's bigger than that. It's about leaving an imprint. Imprint. And I said a key word. I said, yo, I was sharing with him. I said, this key word that I know of the word, you know of the word, but
Energize, refresh, detox.
Refresh.
Refresh?
Refresh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You want me to show them? Got the essential oils, man. You know what I'm saying? Essential.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Refresh all day.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Minty, baby. Anyways. I know it's going to be hard, but I love hard, right? I love hard in the sense of everything that I've done in my time that was hard. And when I got over it, it was so rewarding. It was so rewarding in the sense of, man, people appreciate it. I got to hit a dopamine when people like, yo, how do you do that? How did you do that? And it's like, shit, I just did it, and it feels good, but I don't want to get too engulfed in how did you do that, right? I don't want to get too engulfed in the dopamine or people realizing that I did the hard stuff that they feel like they couldn't do when I feel like they could do it. It's just a simple mindset of shifting. I ain't got no choice but to do it. I can't go back on myself, right? And listen.
Hey, you gotta close the call.
I gotta close the call. All right. Gotta close the call. It says, but it's hard and to insist. Right, and that's why your job is not to insist. But it is hard to insist. Right, it's not your job to insist. It says when the police they say, is this your, you go, no, it's not mine, but they,
You're reading the
with
comments
it.
10 years after, huh?
I do be reading the comments 10 years after, because a lot of the times I get comments like that are just not worth responding to, except for the ones that are. It says, why is that? People want help from you, but when willing to stable and consistently pick on the plans or ideas. I'll tell you why. It's because they're not ready. They're not, and when I say ready, they're not open to receive change, open to receive from God. And that's just period. I don't care what people believe. They're not open to receive from God, because change is, like, everything boils down back to God. Everything boils back to source. You know, the word Abba means father, which father is not father in English term. Father is father of source. That's Hebrew for God, right? Abba. And when you realize that they're not really, they saying all that, they're not really want to help. They want help, but they're not really. It's like they ain't open to receive from source. They got some hang up that happened that they feel like, and it's not. You gotta strip that shit away, bro. You can't come to God with all that. I mean, your father is already there. He's already there, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you gotta be so with it. You gotta be like, look, I don't care about none of this anymore. I just want to connect to you. Like, I need you to show me the way. I don't care about who. I don't care if people say, oh, you're a black person. No, I'm not. I'm not a black person. Oh, you're American. Oh, no, I'm not. You got to detach from all the labels, bro. You got to literally be not of this world. Really? I mean, because it's not about you leaving to transition to go to heaven. It's not about that. He wants change on earth. God wants change on earth. That's why he had you come forth and to bring your creativity and what you're trying to figure out. How do I seek fulfillment right now? How do I feel like I'm fulfilled inside and what I'm supposed to be doing, right? And that's about you making impact on this world, about those things that make you scared of doing. You're supposed to be doing those things. Don't matter if you're scared. You're supposed to be doing them, because each level that you go through develops you in the characteristics that God is trying to plant inside of you. And in order for you to even acquire those level ups and those pointer perspectives on life and to become the person that he's molding you, or that he wants you to be, or that he sees you to be, you got to be willing to go through that stuff. You got to be willing, because you understand the bigger picture is that is my point of armor. That is my suits. That is my skills. That is me leveling up within the skillmanship of swordsmanship. That's the level of me understanding how to use a gun. You know the word gun stands for God, universe, nature. That's your ultimate gun. God, universe, nature. Why? Because when you understand the relationship between you and the king, you understand that if you're saying this is my king, then that makes you a citizen. And if you're a citizen, when you're talking about kingdomship and lordship, I gotta end this call. You're right, babe. When you talk about kingship and lordship, you understand that when you accept your king as being your king, you get provided all these things already, right? It's a part of the culture. It's called commonwealth. It's called commonwealth because the king expresses what wealth is already to his citizens, right? We've seen lower ends of righteous kings or less righteous kings, right? And we've seen a glimpse of righteous kingdoms. But you see more kingdoms that are not righteous, where they take from people, and then they try to keep all the wealth for them. And then you know what the glimpse of a righteous king is. A righteous kingdom, which is expressing even the citizens in the environment and in the territories express gold, they express, droopy, like nice, clean, silk, all of this. And it's like, dang, my man is wealthy. This is a righteous king. Like, he's not even he's wanting to express how much abundance he has. Ooh, I'm going fire right now. Fire. Grandmaster for Rich Rising in this beautiful building right now, man. Going super fire. I appreciate you, Lock Fam Kingdom citizens in the building. Thank you guys for dropping the likes and the shares. And I appreciate you for lending me your ear and receiving what I'm dropping, you know, because, you know, not everybody, we all becoming present. We're all becoming present in the moment of what is most important. We're becoming present in the moment as things have changed and the times and the frequencies are changing. Becoming present. Everybody's becoming present of what's most important. It's about the king and the kingdom, man. Seek ye first the king and the kingdom and all these things. Well, let me rephrase that. Seek first the king and the kingdom and his righteousness, meaning upright in alignment with the authority, with the laws. As a citizen, I follow all the laws. I know all the principles. And I know how to move within my country. I know how to, you know, share those laws with my other fellow friends. I know how to implement it, and I know how to pass it down to my children's children, right? And it's not a bad thing. That's why living in the United States is like you got to know the laws. You see. Oh man, there's so much to say. There's so much to say. I gotta go, guys. But I want to say this: in the United States of America, if you don't know the laws, you see how you're not able to exercise your tax exempts because you don't know the laws. You see how you're not able to access all the resources because you don't know your rights, which are your laws, right? You don't know your constitution, right? You don't know how you're positioned as a citizen of the United States. So if you don't know what you're capable, if you don't know your rights, you don't know the constitution, you don't know the laws, you don't know the principles, you just gonna be living in a world where you're like, hell, I gotta work all day, every day. It's gonna be, it's because your fault, because you haven't acquired the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding. They said, what makes a wise man a wise man? What makes a wise man is the fact that he understands the divine laws and the laws of God and the principles. Do you know what principle means? Principle means, the word prince means first. Principle means first law. With that being said, stay locked in. God vibes only, y'all. Stay blessed by the best.